Okay, most of y'all were doing pretty well with finding the functions from a graph. So we're going to get some more practice with that today, but we're also going to add a little something to it then. Instead of just finding slope and y-intercept from a graph, we're going to find slope from 2 points or from two ordered pairs. When we have a graph, what are our words for slope? Rise over run. So we got rise over run. That's how we would find the slope for the graph. With the graphs, which axis is the rise? Y. Y-axis is rise, it goes up and down. Then which axis is run? X. So if it's rise over run, we're doing something with the Y over something with the X. So when we do it with ordered pairs, what we're going to do is change in Y over change in X. It's how much the Y values change, how much the X values change. Okay? So if I've got these 2 points right here, the first thing we have to remember is when we have an ordered pair, what letter comes first on the ordered pair? X. X is the first one, Y is the second one. Just like with the alphabet, we got X and then Y. So when I do the change in Y over change in X, my Y value, 19, my X value is going from -4 to +3. If they increase, it will be a positive number. If they decrease, it will be a negative number, okay? So from 5 to 19, that's an increase. It's an increase of 14. From -4 to +3, that's an increase. We're going from -4 to +3. That's an increase of 7. So our change in Y would be 14. Change in X would be 7. What's 14 divided by 7? 2. That's it. That's our slope. Slope's 2. Okay? I kind of follow a little bit so far? So change in Y over change in X. So if we look at this one, Y value is going from 4 to -12. X value from 3 to -5. From 4 to -12, is that an increase or a decrease? Decrease. It's going down. If it's going down, we're going to make it a negative number, okay? How many is it going down? 16. You go from 4 to 0, 0 to -12. That means it's going down 16 total. Okay? For our X values, we're going from 3 to -5. Is that an increase or a decrease? Decrease. So that's going to be a negative. 3 to -5, 8. So it's going down 8. We go from 3 to 0, 0 to -5. All right, we're looking for the distance between these numbers. So what's a negative divided by a negative? Positive. 16 divided by 8? 2. So they're not always going to be 2. That's just the way this worked out so far. Okay? Not so bad, right? All right, so let's look at this one. My Y value started at -13, goes to -4. X value starts at 6, goes to 9. So from -13 to -4, is that an increase or a decrease? That's an increase. When you have negative numbers, remember the bigger the number looks, the farther to the left on the number line it is. So we're going up. How many did we go up? 9. So up 9. Then for the x's, from 6 to 9, increase or decrease? Increase. How many? 3. What's 9 divided by 3? 3. That's our slope. Okay? Any questions so far? It's change in y over change in x. Y'all try these two. All right, the one on the left. Who can give me a slope for the one on the left? Connor? No? Corey? 2/3. So change in y over change in x. Our y values are 4 and 6. So that means we're going from 4 to 6. That's an increase of 2. All right, so that's our change in y. Our change in x, we're going from 2 to 3. That's an increase. Or sorry, not 2 to 3. My fault. I was skipping ahead to how many we increased by. 2 to 5, increasing by 3. All right. You will get fractions. Y'all remember working with the graphs, we got fractions for our slope a lot, right? So that does happen. Fractions are fine. We want to simplify them if we can. 2/3 can't be simplified, so that's good as is. All right, a little tougher on the other one. Carlea? No? Taquan? I'll take that. We should simplify, but... All right, so change in y over change in x. Our y values, 3 to negative 3. 3 to negative 3, is that increasing or decreasing? Decreasing, and it's going down by 6, okay? So since it's decreasing by 6, we put a negative 6. Our x values, from negative 2 to positive 2. Negative 2 to positive 2, that's an increase, so that'll be a positive number. When we go from negative 2 to positive 2, that's going up by 4. Yeah, so then 2 goes into both of those. So we'd have negative 3 halves or negative 3 over 2. Okay? The way it works with the slope, if one of them's positive and one of them's negative, the whole slope's going to be negative. It's like with a division problem. If they're both negative, the whole thing will be positive. Okay? Yo, we at least with this for a little bit now? Any questions? What you say? From 3 to -3, we go from 3, 0 to -3, that's a total of 6. That's where the 6 came from. Yeah, so when they're on opposite sides of 0, you basically are adding the absolute values of them because you're finding the distance between them. When they're on the same side of 0, you're basically subtracting the absolute values to get the distance. That makes sense? Any other questions?